This
Make a note.
conference will now be recorded.
You have to write down this transaction, lengthier transaction. Okay. So, manufacturing organization. That is the name of the chapter, wherein you will be introduced to many features of Tally. All of you, you have to write down because there are stages, steps, all those things. So, manufacturing organization. You have to make a note. Okay, let us start in a easy way. Okay, what do you think is manufacturing?
Production of goods, sir.
Okay,
into final products.
okay. Other participants? Sanjana will take part sometime. Today she took part. Okay, but sometimes occasionally she'll take part. Yes, Miss Sanjana.
Sir, I was absent for the
Yeah,
last
some. Yeah, I
classes.
know. From I think two classes or so you were absent. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, be interactive. You talk. You put question. You discuss. Correct. No, you should remember this course. Yeah, I did Tally course like that. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Others, what do you think is manufacturing? You put it in your own words. Whatever comes to your mind, which is of some this one, you tell, you express. Yes, please write down the process, the process of converting raw material into finished good or item is called manufacturing. Next paragraph. Manufacturing generally involves,
Can you repeat, sir?
yeah, manufacturing generally involves three stages. Please write. Stage 1, procurement of raw material. Classifying them as raw material stock group and receiving them in raw material godown. See, this is, as per me, according to me, one of the interesting chapter wherein you will get exposed to lot of features of Tally. How to create stock group, how to create Godon, that is location. Please remember, in the later versions of Tally, it is no more called Godon, it is called location. And in Tally, there will be a default location, main location created by the software. This can be an MCQ question. So first stage is what? Procurement of procuring raw material, classifying them under stock group raw material, and receiving them in raw material go down. That is stage 1. See, there are, as I told you, there are 3 stages, 3 transactions. That is a chapter wherein you will be introduced to inventory voucher. So far what we saw, please remember, what we saw so far: contra, payment, receipt, journal, purchase debit note, sale credit note. These are the vouchers we discussed. They are all accounting vouchers. Please listen. The voucher which I listed, they are called accounting vouchers. In today's class, we also discuss inventory voucher. At that time, we will see the difference. So the definition you wrote, no, the sentence you wrote, that is stage 1. That is, we use purchase voucher to record that. So hyphen purchase, the stage 1 thing we have to record in purchase, that is procurement means purchase. F9. Next paragraph. Stage 2. Transferring a portion of raw material from raw material godown to quality check godown. So first stage, we procured the items. In stage 2, we will transfer a part of the stock item which we purchase for quality check before it is being taken for manufacturing. For the second stage, transfer of items, we use a voucher called stock journal. For time being, just say dash stock journal voucher. Next, stage 3. Taking up for manufacturing and producing finished good or item using manufacturing journal voucher type. That is stage 3. Okay, so 3 stages, 3 transactions. Fine. So let us start. Anything you want to ask, please ask. Anything,
So
any
what is the
clarification?
second stage?
Second stage, please check up if you are not written right. Transferring a portion of raw material from, we received the raw material in raw material godown, so it requires to be quality checked. That's why we'll transfer it to quality check godown. That is the second stage. Transferring a portion of raw material from raw material godown to quality check godown. Hyphen, you say stock journal voucher to be used. Any doubt, any clarification, please unmute and express. So, all of you, now we will discuss a computer manufacturing industry, computer manufacturing company. Okay, so please write down, name of the company is Canon Computers Private Limited. That is the name of the company. Canon Computer Private Limited. So we'll create the company. As I told you, you will be exposed to many features of Tally. Let us not get GST into this particular chapter. As you are aware, for computer periphery or computer accessories, there is GST. But in this manufacturing scenario, let us not get GST. That's one small thing to be noted. But you should very well remember there is GST for computer peripherals. Okay. So we will create company. Those who are sitting in front of the system, please do along with me. Others, try to have computer in front of me. Create Canon Computer Private Limited. Please write a sentence about the company. As I say, business scenario. Please write Canon Computer Private Limited is a manufacturing organization, comma, manufacturing computer located in Electronic City, Bangalore. Okay, so we have to create a company. That's what I'm doing. Please observe, do along with me. So E-City, E-City, Bangalore, Electronic City, Bangalore. Karnataka. Control A. Things are correct. Told you this is a practice exercise. In reality, you have to give all the details. Okay. Control A. I will accept this. As I told you, let us not get GST into this. So I'll make GST no. If GST is yes, it will ask for a lot of inputs. Okay. Wherein we will be little bit digressing from our thing. Okay. I told you I would like to introduce to many features of Tally. Okay. That's all. That's why I say at this juncture, say no. Control A, I'll accept. So this Rex Private Limited is no more required. I'll shut that. Control F3. Please remember, I'll shut Rex. So now, in the first screen of Tally, Gateway of Tally, with our company open. Okay. Now, please write transaction. Stage 1, transaction number 1. 1423. Company purchase. You have to make a note of this transaction, otherwise you can't record, and have it for yourself. Don't throw it. Okay, you keep a, I hope all of you are writing in separate book, so that when you go for interview or at any later point in time you want to just recap, you can see this book. It will help you. Okay. One student gave a feedback, so even now it is there in my office. I kept the book at my office. Okay, so whenever I'm free, I'll go through that book. Okay, so that should be the spirit. Okay, you should retain this book. Okay, it will help you somewhere down the line. Please write. Company purchased the following stock item from RAM Traders. RAM, RAM Traders. Colon dash. So there will be 7 items. Each item, one line. You have to write. First one, processor P5. I'll repeat. The name of the stock item is processor colon P5. Hyphen, not colon. Processor hyphen P5. It is called Pentium 5. You just, as a notation, P5. 50 numbers. Write in single line. I told you 7 items, each one in separate line. 50 numbers at rupees 10,200 per number. Next line, second item, hard disk. So you have to relate to all the computer parts. Okay, hard disk, 100 numbers at rupees 8,400 per number. Next item, Motherboard. 100 numbers at rupees 9100 per number. Fourth item, next line. Processor hyphen Celeron. Celeron. It's a type of processor. Celeron. Like Pentium, Celeron is also type of processor. 50 numbers at rupees 11,800 per number. Next item, monitor. 100 numbers at rupees 10,500 per number. Next one, sixth item, keyboard. 100 numbers at rupees 650 per number. Last item, mouse. 100 numbers at rupees 450 per number. Right, next paragraph. A carriage inward. I'll repeat. A carriage inward of rupees 5,500 was incurred. Go through the transaction. We are in first stage of manufacturing, that is procurement. You read the transaction once. Try to understand. Now we have to record. So how to go about?
Write the journal entry, sir.
Yes, miss. Please tell the journal entry. Miss Sanjana, what do you think is a journal entry? All of you think, participate.
1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Purchases account debit,
Okay.
carriage inwards account debit to
Okay.
RAM traders.
Perfect, Miss Chinmay. Perfect. Okay. So all of you, please write down what your friend said. Purchase account debit. Carriage inward is an expense. Debit to RAM traders. The narration being purchase of stock item. So we are done with the step number one. Now step number two. What is step number two?
Creation of masters.
Yeah. Step two. See, I told you this will hold good even in your, if you happen to choose accounting job as a career. So it's always the chronology remains the same. You can just later recollect after many years. Okay, yes, this is the fine. We learned. Okay, nice, good miss. So we have to create masters. So in this transaction, I foresee many masters to be created. Okay, let us discuss. So first one is, as per the journal entry, ledgers. Small a. In step 2, creation of masters, small a, there are around 4 or 5 different things to be created. We'll see. Small a, ledgers. So we'll do that. Create ledger. Purchase account. I told you, whenever you create a ledger, link it to correct group. Purchase is an exclusive group available, link it to it. That's it. Now, the second ledger is carriage inward. What is carriage inward? What it is? First you tell me, then we'll link it to the group. What is carriage inward?
So shipping costs.
Okay. Are there any other answer?
Direct expense, sir.
That's fine. But that's fine. But what is the meaning of carriage inward?
The cost incurred to bring the raw materials to your place.
Excellent.
The transportation costs.
Yeah. Yes, Sanjana, correct. Okay. See, carriage inward is the cost, transportation cost, incurred to get the stock item from supplier to our premises. Okay. And Miss Chinmay went one step ahead and said, sir, it is direct expense. Okay. Technically, she is correct. But see, in this chapter, at the end of the third, all of you please listen carefully. At the end of the third stage, now we are in first stage, procurement stage. At the end of the third stage, since it is a manufacturing organization, Tally would also have done the costing. As you know, ultimately all these parts they go and a new part emerges, computer. So at the end of the third stage, you will come to know Tally would have done the costing too. Now the next question is, what is costing? In layman's language, you can tell. I don't expect you to use any technical words. What is costing?
They're estimating the cost of producing goods.
Yeah, yes, miss. See, even the chaiwala on the street, to some extent, he too does the costing. If you price his tea at 10 rupees, somewhere down the line, you will calculate. So this is the how many ml of milk I'm using. What is the sugar going into preparing? What is the coffee powder, tea powder? Sorry. So like that, E2 does the costing approximately, okay, not very technically. Of course, you would have by practice, you would have come to know some thumb rules. You'll have some thumb rules, okay. So you'll come to know this is a profit I'm going to make. I'll be making. I'll make rather, okay. So Tally does costing to the correct pie. At the end of it will show how much did it cost the company to manufacture one computer. Okay. So why this such a long explanation or something? See now, listen. I'll come to the point. If I put, if I link carriage inward to direct expense, as your friend said, purchase account is a different account group. Carriage inward is a different account group. They don't, they do not get added up. They are going parallelly. Two groups going parallelly. Purchase account is going like this. Parallelly, direct expense is also going parallelly. So they'll not get added up. Try to understand this. So if I take direct expense, carriage inward under direct expense, your costing will be defective to the extent of 5,500. That is a carriage inward amount. because the carriage inward amount is not getting added up to purchase account. See, ultimately I told one processor P5 is 10,200. When you are recording the second transaction, you will see it will not be 10,200. Okay, it will be 10,205, some paise, something like that. We'll see that. I'll show you at that point. I'll remind you also. You will be seeing yourself. That means to when we got the stock items to computer, stock items to our premises, the 5,500 rupees what we paid as carriage inward has to be appropriated among 7 items, among 600 items. You please check. Processor P5 50 numbers, Celeron 50 numbers, other parts there are 100. It adds up to be 600 items. This 5,500 has to get appropriated among 600 items. So when we do that, you'll see. So ultimately, the analysis says now what all I told last 2 minutes or so. It says that you can't take carriage inward under direct expense. You have to create an account group which will behave like a subledger of purchase. Then the costing will be correct. Then our objective will be achieved. See, as you know, in Tally, any master can be created. Create. See, any master, I can create group, I can create voucher type, I can create all the masters. If it is under master, it can be created. So also group. So our requirement calls for creation of a new group. As you know, Tally has created 28 account group. Test question. Please remember. You go to chart of account and see there will be 28 account groups created by Tally. So apart from this, we can create our own group. Okay, that we will do. Please write creation of account group. Creation of account group. Hyphen expense on purchase. Under purchase account group, you have to make a note. Subsequently, when you're free, please practice again. I'll show you. Enter. See, create account group, enter expense on purchase. I told you under purchase account group. Most important, group behaves like a subledger has to be. Yes, this will behave like a subledger. Okay, please make a note. Group behave like a subledger. Option has to be S. Method to allocate when used in purchase invoice. Appropriate by value. What I mean by that? That 5,500 is a value. Rupees 5,500 is a value. It has to rupees 5,500 has to be appropriated among 600 items. That we can't do manually. Not possible. Computer uses ratio proportion. We'll see that more amount is appropriated to higher value item, less for lower. For mouse maybe 30 paise, 40 paise, like that. We'll see that. That is, the software will do, computer will do. Appropriate by value has to be enabled. So we created our own account group. Tally has created 28 account group, and Tally says you create any ledger, it is going to fall under these 28 account group. Tally will tell with certainty. You create any ledger, it will fall in this 28 account group. Still, you created a ledger wherein this 28 did not fit. You can always create a account group. That's what we are doing. So the entire exercise, the purpose of creating this account group is to link carriage inward. All of you, any doubt, you stop me and ask. So now we'll go back to creation of ledger carriage inward to be linked to the newly created group expense on purchase. Enter, enter, save it. Now the ledger number 3, RAM traders. So we are purchasing supplier sundry creditor. That's all. Save and load. Now we have created ledgers including one account group. Now what all the other things you think we have to create? If you read the transaction, you'll get some insight. You can tell me what are the other masters to be created.
Stock item, sir.
Yes, we have to create stock items. In fact, before that, many more masters to be created. I'll give clue. You can suggest me. See, so what is this company? What is Canon Computers Private Limited?
Manufacturing organization.
Manufacturing.
Yes, it is a manufacturing organization manufacturing computer. If you see the question, transaction, processor P5 50 numbers, processor Celeron 50 numbers, other items, other stock items 100 numbers. So with this stock, with this 600 items, what you can manufacture?
Computers.
Okay, still some refinement is required. See, with this stock, we can manufacture computer P550 numbers, computer Celeron 50 numbers. A computer is categorized on the basis of the processor it uses. Currently, there is some, if you say Intel processor, there is i3, i5, i7. So those are the different types of processors. So in our scenario, we can manufacture computer P550 numbers, computer Celeron 50 numbers. Other parts remain the same. The hard disk, the motherboard. See, a computer is, I told you, categorized on the processor it uses. So it calls for, in our scenario, it calls for creation of stock category. We have to categorize processor P5 and processor Celeron. How to do that? Okay, so you have to go to stock category. Okay, so what you do is, I'll try to draw small. So to first, we'll create one processor stock category. If you want, you can make a note. Creation of stock category. Do along with me. Creation of stock category. So first, you create processor under primary. I told you there is something called primary in Tally. Base, so primary. Create under primary. And we have two types of processors. Okay. Processor P5 and processor Celeron. So if you want to do categorization, this processor P5 to be created not under primary, it has to be created under the group processor. Understood this point? Similarly, Celeron to be created under processor. If you do this, categorization, you have done the categorization. Start with, you created processor under primary. Then you came to processor P5. You did not create under primary. You created under processor. So by that, it became stock. What is that? Categorization has happened. Under processor, there are two. That's what is the interpretation of this. All of you got this point? Miss Chinmay, Miss Sanjana, others
Yes, sir.
also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Fine. So we'll same chart. We'll put it in Tally. So creation of stock category. Please write small c stock category. Okay. So we'll create processor. For our this one also discussion also it is under primary. Then we'll create processor P5. Not under primary but under processor. That's how the categorization will take place. Similarly, you create processor Celeron under processor. By doing this, we have done the categorization. Fine. So, like this, we are learning. We will be learning many features. Okay. So we learned how to create a group altogether. Okay. In very few occasions, you'll create a group. In Tally, we do not get an opportunity to create any group because there are 28 groups already existing, and Tally claims you create any ledger, it will invariably fall in these 28 group. But still, we can always create any master can be created. That's why there is the illustration. We wanted a particular master to be in a particular way. That's why we created that. So we created group. So far very rarely will create. Okay, okay, very rarely will create. Okay, it so happens that a user of Tally may not create group at all in his lifetime. An accountant, he might not create an account group because there are as many as 28 account groups. Fine. So that's why we are moving, you are going above the ladder. That means you're progressing towards the top. You're going upwards. So we learned how to create a group, stock category you are exposed. We did that. Fuel, all those things. Again, we got the opportunity to learn this. Fine. Now we have to group these items as raw material. Okay. Please write next one. Creation of stock group. Raw material. Under primary, should the quantities have added? No, we don't add. Okay, they'll be separate. Please do along with me. Stock group to be created, that is hyphen raw material. In case you require any break, 2 minutes break, something, you tell me. Okay, so we are done with stock group. Next, we'll do stock item. More than one stock item to be created. There are as many as 7 stock item. What you should do? If I go here, I can create only one at a time. I want to create all of them. What should I do? You think I'll give 2 minutes break. Fine. So the question is, I want to create all the items at one go. So what I should do? You think I'll give 2 minutes break?
This conference will now be recorded.
So now what we should do?
Is it we have to go to chart of accounts and then select the stock of items, and then from there multi-master, uh, and then create it?
Correct, miss. So for multi-master creation, as your friend said, we have to go to chart of account. More than one master to be created at a stretch, at a go, come to chart of account. Place the cursor on the master which you want to create. Enter. Your created stock item you have to create. Enter. Say multi-masters. Click on Alt H. Multi-masters. Enter. Multi-create. Enter. Space bar under which group? Raw material. Now let us start creating one by one. There are as many as 7 items to be created. We'll do that. Processor P5 under raw material, because heading also raw material group, stock group. Now it is not showing category when you're practicing. If you don't get category, you click on configure F12. Click on F12. Configure. See here, show stock category details. That feature you make it yes. That's all. Enter, enter. Now you in the category processor P5. Units, we need to create numbers. Don't give any opening stock. We are buying afresh. Because the one for first day of the financial year. That's all the thing. Now we'll create item one by one. Hard disk, raw material. This is the category. Yes, dear students, participate. Which is the category you're going to link? Miss Sanjana,
So,
which is the category you have to link?
so is it uh, Celeron? I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. See, irrespective of the processor, okay, hard disk is same. If you remember, I told this with this stock item, we can manufacture 50 computer P5, 50 computer Celeron. That's why the processors are 50 each. Rest of the parts they're 100. Okay, so other parts will be same. Only the processor is different. Fine. So if that is the case, what I should do? Whether it is a computer P5 or computer Celeron, hard disk, motherboard, or all the other things, they remain the same.
The processor, so you have to link it to processor.
Processor.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
processor.
Yes, Sanjana, good try. You tried. No problem. What you thought you said. Okay. But it is not applicable. I told you, right? My English sentence, if you just recall, I said, irrespective of the computer, but for the processor, the other parts remain the same. Okay. So it is not applicable. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So not applicable. Numbers, you link it to unit. Then you see motherboard, raw material, not applicable. Then we'll create processor Celeron. Is the category you have to link.
Processor cell runs.
Processor Celeron. So numbers. Okay. Next is monitor, not applicable. So I'll save at this point and tell you something else. I'll come out of this. I have created 5 stock item. Still I have to create mouse, keyboard. I'll come out. Okay. Listen to me. Yeah, I told you, as you are going up the course, I mean, as you are covering more, you are advancing. Okay, so you will learn more features. Okay, I will introduce some more features at this juncture. See, now listen to me. See, this keyboard and mouse, they are low value items, 650, 500, like that, and they're small in nature. When the item itself is 650 or 450, how can you spend 20 rupees, 25 rupees on packing? See, if you generally, you will be generally knowing that keyboard and mouse are imported from China or Thailand. Okay, all of you listen to this. Okay, so it has to come through ship or something like that. So all the industry, they are cost conscious. They want to cut down the cost. So instead of spending, and if they are exporting, for example, China, if they're exporting mouse, not they'll not export 10 mouse, 15 mouse, they'll export lakhs of pieces, thousands of pieces they'll export. In one consignment, thousands of pieces will come, because China manufactures main, what is that? They manufacture in bulk. That's why the prices are high. That's why the prices are so low. The prices are 650, 450. Let us say I put a plant in Bangalore. Please understand. Okay. Harish manufacturers. I put a plant to manufacture. Why you should import keyboard and mouse? Let us do made in India. Okay. So what is that? I had that in mind. I put a plant to manufacture mouse and keyboard in Bangalore. You will be surprised to know that it will cost me around 2000 rupees to manufacture a keyboard, around 1500 rupees to manufacture a mouse. It's a truth. If I start a plant and manufacture just two items, it will cost me what I said. In China, they have customer pan world. They manufacture lakhs of pieces in one batch. So as they manufacture more, there is something called marginal costing. I'll just tell you briefly. You don't have to go and get into technicality of that. So at one particular level of output, your fixed cost is covered. Fixed cost means what? All these things, salary, what is that? Premises rent, go down rent, office rent, all these things, irrespective of output or no output, we have to bear that. Company has to pay that. So those are called fixed cost. Okay, those are called fixed cost. So at one particular level of output, all the fixed costs are covered. Then subsequently, what you manufacture is only profit, profit, profit. After you achieve that particular level of output. That's why they are priced very competitively. Whereas Harish manufacturers in Bangalore, where can I find so many customers? Because again, I have to go around the world identifying customer, telling the customers. So I need to manufacture that many. China is famous from ages for all these parts. That's why it is less. So now, see now it will come down to the point. The point is, so there is something called alternate unit. Okay, that's why I said I'll create mouse and keyboard separately. So there is something called alternate unit, wherein I'll create a box. Box is the unit. So one box is equal to 10 numbers. Okay, to reduce the cost, I have to do this packing in a box. There will be 10 mouse, there will be 10 keyboard, like that. Okay, so we'll stop at this stage. We'll continue tomorrow and we'll go further. Okay, was the class interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, see, all of you will meet tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
welcome, welcome, miss.